Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Bjarki. Bjarki is from Iceland, but he lives in Wales in the UK. So let's see what Bjarki has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
All
I
good?
can now.
All right.
Hello, Mar. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time for the interview today. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
So, how's your weekend been so far?
So far, it's been pretty chill, really, actually. I've been doing a little bit of composing this morning, but yeah, just taking it easy, I guess.
I see. Okay, Bjarki. So, tell me, where are you from?
So I was born in Iceland, um, but I moved to New Zealand when I was about 9 months old. So originally from Iceland, but lived in New Zealand for what, 17 years. So yeah.
Wow. And why the move from Iceland to New Zealand?
So my dad is from New Zealand. So yeah, my mum's Icelandic, my dad's from New Zealand. So we kind of moved between the two. Yeah.
I see. So, right now you're based in New Zealand right now.
Right now I'm in the UK. So
See, I
yeah.
was like, God.
Yeah, now I'm in Wales. So yeah, moving all over the place.
Wow. And how long have you been living in Wales for?
Just over a year now. So yeah, September last year I moved.
And you planning to stay in the UK for a long period?
Yeah, at the moment I'm looking at some university courses and all sorts of things. So yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about your career as a composer.
So well, it kind of all started in 2014. It was during an intermediate school. So there were kind of like these music shows and all these kinds of things. And I wrote my first original song for that kind of competition. So that was when I first started writing. But I've been playing piano for 13 years now. So yeah, in 2014, that was the first time I wrote my first piece, and then I guess from there, I just kind of kept writing it because I guess it was quite a lot of fun, and I got in the top 5. So it seemed to be working, I guess. Yeah. So from there on, I guess it probably took me 4 years before I really started to kind of know what I was doing and get in like a better groove and have a bit more knowledge about how to write music. So it wasn't until kind of my last few years in high school where I kind of was doing a few more assessments and was working with teachers and sitting like theory assessments and all that kind of stuff. So then I started writing a lot of stuff, and then February this year I released my first album of piano solos. So that was really cool and kind of like the next biggest milestone for me, which was really, really exciting. Yeah, and then I released another single in, I can't remember now, only a few months ago, June or July, somewhere around there. I released another one. So yeah.
All the music that you compose, it's on the piano, or you mix a little bit more different instruments?
So originally I was writing just piano, but I've been experimenting a lot with string instruments, and I've written a few pieces with drums, but I still need to work on perfecting that kind of area because they're not necessarily instruments I've played before. So it's, yeah, before I start releasing any of that kind of stuff, I need to, work a little bit more into that and figure out how to do it properly. Yeah.
Amazing, my God. So music always been around you?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, no one in my family, like no, my parents and grandparents, cousins, etc., none of them are musicians. So really it's just me and my family that's kind of taken on music. But yeah, it's kind of cool, I guess, being the only one. I get a lot of support from my family, which is nice. So
oh, amazing. Very good. Bjarki, before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, I would like to tell me something interesting about yourself.
Something interesting. All right, so even though I've got a whole bunch of music going on in my life and all that kind of stuff, I actually work full time in a school as a supporting learning teacher. So, so I support kids with autism, ADHD, other learning disabilities, anything like that. So that's my full-time job. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of an interesting about me.
Very interesting for sure. Wow, amazing. Okay, so during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your career, about your joys in life, okay?
Right. All
You're
right.
ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yeah. Already.
And the magic box. So this is my best friend. Okay? For the fun questions. I'm just going to play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay, Bjarki, so before we start the game, during the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
All right.
Very... First question for you is, tell me something that you won and how did you win it? Something special.
Oh, something I won. First thing I can think of is in high school, I started learning the saxophone. And I joined a few different bands, playing jazz music and that sort of thing. And for 2 years, I didn't get any recognition for anything that I was doing, which is fine because I just started learning, so I wasn't expecting anything really. But then in my 3rd year of playing, I won 3 awards for my saxophone playing. So that included leadership, the best woodwind player in the region, and contribution to bands in the region as well. So
wow.
Those were my 3 awards that I won in my 3rd year, and I held those for 4 years as well before I moved to the UK. So yeah.
That was back in New Zealand or in Finland?
Back in New Zealand, yeah.
Wow. And your parents, they are still in New Zealand?
So I'm here with my mum here in the UK, but my dad lives in New Zealand, yeah.
So how old were you when you left Finland?
When I left Iceland?
Sorry, Iceland, yes. When you left Iceland.
I was 9 months old.
Oh, yeah. So you don't have much memory from there?
No, but I have been back recently a few times, so I do go back and visit, but I haven't lived there really to... yeah.
I see. All right. Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, do you think your priorities have changed since you were younger?
Yeah, I think they have. I had a massive focus on my school and my education, and really trying to get that kind of step forward in I guess life really, so that by the time I left school I kind of had something to build up from, and that was really my biggest focus, and I really put a lot of pressure on myself during school, which was really intense. And when I look back, it's really crazy. But now that I've left school and I'm out kind of doing a lot more music and working full time, I guess my focus is kind of more on building relationships with people, kind of getting to know people more, and you know, kind of expanding my little social circle, I guess, and just getting out there and now trying new things and traveling and all that kind of stuff. So instead of being so work focused and academic focused, I'm trying to live a little freely now. So yeah.
Very good. I'm glad to know that you are kind of following your path in the best way that you can.
Yeah.
Next one, let's do it. Right, before the next question, tell me, what do you like the most about being a composer? What's the best part of it? And also, what's the most challenging part?
All right. So the best part is being able to uh, just the fact that I can come up with these ideas and turn them into something really cool that I enjoy, but also that just seeing other people enjoy what I make as well. That's um, something that's really cool. And all these different sounds and different things that I try, and then I get such a positive response back from people. It's really cool, and so that's the best part. But the most difficult part um, is probably the amount of time that it takes to before you're really happy with what you've produced. So sometimes last year I was writing a piece and I had gotten most of it written down, and I was able to, I had performed a lot of the parts and stuff, and it was all perfect. But then the ending took me about 4 months before I was happy for it. So it was that was really difficult, and it's that kind of stuff where you've written all this, and then it's those last little bits, the final tweaks and things that really take time, and that's most difficult because you just want to get it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And did you have any inspiration, like anyone that you look up to, like as growing up, or when you start your music, there was like an idol or someone that you were following?
I'm not sure that I really had like any sort of kind of famous idol or someone in particular, but there were always students around me that worked really hard, and I'd seen what kind of successes they had gotten from doing such hard work and being part of all these different music groups and things. So I guess just, yeah, the musicians around me, because I lived in a relatively small town. So the musician circle was pretty tight-knit, and everyone in that music community knew everyone. So yeah, I guess that kind of community was my biggest inspiration and kind of made me work for, I guess, where I am now. So yeah.
All right, next question for you is, describe yourself in one positive word and one negative word only.
Okay, that's all right. My positive word would be passionate, and a negative word would be that's a difficult one. Negative word. I think the word I would use would be judgmental, I think. Yeah.
All right, I think all of us, we have those both sides, let's say.
Yeah.
Next one, let's do it. Okay, Bjarki, next question for you is, what is the most memorable lesson you've learned from your parents?
Oh. Yeah, okay. So something that my parents told me quite a few years ago was the only time you're allowed to be selfish is when you're making a decision that is for yourself and you're like self-improvement. So that's kind of like the only time when you're allowed to, I guess, do things solely for yourself rather than like people pleasing or thinking about what other people want. If it's for your own self-improvement and, making yourself a better person, then do whatever you need to do to be that.
Wow. And when you start your music, doing your music, they always support you?
Yes, Yeah, it's not always like consistent and all the time. Sometimes it might be 3 months after I've finished a piece of music, and then I get the recognition from it. But yeah, I always get the support from it, and yeah.
Very good. Ready for another one?
All right, let's go.
Let's do it. Okay, next question for you is, in your opinion, what is the worst thing someone can say on a first date?
Oh, um, um, oh, maybe something that's against something that you really enjoy, but maybe they don't know about. So, like, if someone was to say they really hated the piano, then for me that would be like, well, that sucks because you're gonna hear that every day otherwise.
Did that ever happen to you or not?
No, not actually happened to me, but yeah.
I think that's a very challenge comment. It can happen during the date, isn't it? Because the person doesn't know you and suddenly this something comes up, you go like, oh my God, how am I going to deal with that now?
Yeah, especially if it's something you live by every day and then they kind of have a completely different view on it, then yeah.
Absolutely. Anyway, let's hope never going to happen something like that.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Next one. Before the next one, tell me a little bit about your full-time job. What do you like the most about it and how everything started?
All right. So how everything started was, well, I never really thought I would get into support work at all. It was never something I thought about or thought I would be interested in. But early this year, I started working at a residential home. So that was supporting like elderly people. We had a few 40-year-olds as well that I'd support, but generally older people. So there as well was autism and ADHD and a few different behaviors in there as well. And I really enjoyed the work, but for me, there was a lot of downtime. So there was a lot of time not really doing all too much. So it was mostly looking after the house that they were staying in, but I really enjoyed the work and working with the people. So then I was then offered a job, my current one now, working in schools as a learning support worker. So I took up the job and I'm really enjoying it so far. And yeah, it's again working with children that have autism, ADHD, learning disabilities. So part of my role there is to kind of prepare them for their GCSEs, for example, or making sure they're getting into lessons, their lessons are going all right, or working on their behaviors or their interests, and yeah, just trying to make school a really positive place for them, I guess. Yeah.
I see. Very good. Next question is, are you a cat or a dog person? And if you could be an animal, which one that would be and why?
Well, I have one cat and 3 dogs. So
wow.
We yeah, I used to have a German Shepherd years ago when I was younger. So and we also had cats, but I think we've always leaned more towards dogs. So a dog person. And what animal I would be if I had to be one. I think maybe like a hawk, I think, or an eagle, because like they fly up high and they can see things that other animals can't, and yeah, I think a little bit sneaky, I guess, too. So yeah.
let's say if you have the power of flying, be somewhere, where would you fly right now? At exactly that moment, this moment now, where would you go?
Right now, I'd want to go back to Norway. I think I've visited Norway a few times, so I'd like to go back there.
Wow. Anywhere in specific, Oslo or anywhere?
I've done South Norway and way up north, so somewhere in the middle, I think. Yeah, something different.
Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what is your least favorite chore?
My least favorite chore would be hand washing dishes. Because for years and years we didn't have a dishwasher, so I spent a long time every night hand washing all the dishes. So I've had enough of that. Yeah.
Became like a trauma, a little trauma.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you like cooking?
I do, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So my parents got us to bake and cook. Well, taught us to bake and cook since we were younger, so it's something I've kind of grown up with. Yeah.
Very good one. Next question. Bjarki, before the next question, tell me, when you think about New Zealand, what's the best memories that comes to your mind?
Oh, I think I always liked our summer holidays, because where I lived, we had like the ocean sounds, so like a whole bunch of ocean bays, and so we would quite often go there in the summertime and boating and fishing and that kind of thing. So yeah, that kind of feeling there in the summer and all that, it was, yeah, probably best memories there.
And how far were you from the beach when you were living there?
Well, the closest one I think was maybe 15-20 minutes away.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Right. Next question for you is, what is the strangest gift have you ever received?
Strangest gift?
Strangest or funniest?
I got, me and my sister, we got these massive, they would have been 2 meters by 2 meters, like pool floaties. And they had like a massive cat and a massive dog printed on each of them. So that was pretty random, and it was just huge. It was, yeah, quite funny.
I see. 3 questions left for you, Björk. Let's do it. Next question for you is, I love this question. Send away a message to someone, but you don't need to tell who this message is for.
So like something I would say to someone, but... Okay.
Yeah, but just this person will know, it would say, okay, this message is for me.
Someone who taught me a lot of resilience, I guess. Like, yeah, thanks for teaching me a lot about hard work and pushing on and, you know, not giving up on what you want. So,
very good.
Yeah.
Good one. 2 questions left for you, Björk. Let's do it.
All right.
But before the next question, as a composer, do you compose, like, do you feel like doing it every single day? Do you need to be inspired, or you can just sit down and make your music? How does it work for you?
So I have a massive folder on my computer of music that I started to write, and I might have 6 seconds of music there, and I have a lot of those 6 seconds, 10 seconds, really short clips um, that I started but haven't been able to figure out what comes next. So I have a lot of those moments, and yeah, I might do 10 of those in a week, but it might take me a month before I find one that really flows, kind of. Yeah, so yeah, I think maybe in a year I might write 6 or 7 that I'm really happy with. So yeah.
And do you do collaboration as well with other people? Do you compose together with other people or not?
Yeah, so I do have a couple of people that I compose with, and I also do a few arrangements as well. So I work with someone and they write their own original music, and then I take their music and I write it for maybe like a saxophone quartet or like a brass ensemble or something like that. So yeah.
I see. All right. Next question is, if you could stay any age for the rest of your life, what age would that would be and why?
I'd like to stay 18.
Why?
Because I guess in that year I've done a lot of things that I probably didn't think I'd be doing. Like I tried a lot of things. I've traveled on my own or with a couple of other people, and I've gone to countries that I didn't have on my bucket list, and I've gone to a few festivals and that kind of thing. So it's been quite a fun year, I think. So I think carrying that on, yeah, would be really cool.
For you, aging, it's something that bothers you, or it's something that doesn't worry you?
At the moment, it doesn't worry me because I'm pretty happy with how things are going. So, but maybe that will change in 10 or 20 years. But yeah.
I think aging is in our minds. That's how things works.
Yeah, right.
Ready for the last one?
All right, here we go.
Let's go. Yeah. But before the last question, people watch the interview right now. Would you like to start a career as a composer, composing music? Yeah. What would be your best piece of advice?
I think know what kind of music you like to write, and you like to write for people, because for me it took me a while to figure out what kind of music. I like writing a lot of different types of music, but I guess in the last year I kind of figured out the type of music that I like writing for people as well. And I guess find out what music you want to write for people and you enjoy writing, because it will be the most long lasting and you'll enjoy it the most, I think. Yeah.
Very good. Last question for you is, if you could have dinner with anyone, living or not, who that would be and why?
I think I would like to have a dinner with someone like Simon Cowell.
Tell me why.
I think because he's done a lot of things to get to where he is now. He's done a lot of hard work. And despite some of the comments he makes about people on The X Factor or Britain's Got Talent, I really think he does know a lot about what he does, and it'd be really interesting to see what he really thinks when he's judging people, like on the stage, and kind of what he's looking for in the performance industry, I guess. Yeah. I think he'd have a lot of good stories to tell.
I'm sure, and I think he, as you said, whatever he says, whatever he makes a comment, he knows what he's saying, and something that if you take it, he's just trying to help somehow. Of course, sometimes it can be a bit rushed the way he said or something, but it's a part of the show. But I think he's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not the end of the show yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
Okay. Let's start with family.
Family. The family that I have here. So like my mom, my stepdad here, my neighbors, and I guess also the people I work with as well. I have a good relationship with, so yeah.
One word for money.
Music.
Good. About sex.
A good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
About love.
People or animals. Yeah.
Politics.
Biased or yeah.
Okay. One word for religion.
Spirituality.
Okay.
Belief.
Fear.
Unknowing.
Okay. Friendship.
And loyalty. Yeah.
Desire.
Yeah. Your wants.
Okay. Regret.
Mistakes.
Success.
Hard work.
One word for wish.
Hope.
Happiness.
People.
One word for Iceland.
Spectacular.
Wow, I like that. New Zealand. One word.
Natural.
Okay. One word for special education. Your job. If you could define one word.
Rewarding.
Okay. One word for music.
Soul.
Okay. And the last one now, composer, music composer. One word.
Talent.
Good. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, tell me the most beautiful thing about Bjarki, and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What your best friend would say.
I think they would say, the best thing, I would hope they'd say, something about how hard I try in everything that I do, and I really try to do the best in the things that I enjoy doing. So yeah, and something I need to work on. I think my freedom still, that even though I am better than I used to be, I'm still something, just being a little bit more free in the world, letting go a little bit more and just living life.
See, do you see some work in progress?
Hmm?
Do you see some work in progress regarding that?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's play now, Bjark, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, you can ask me a question now.
All right. I'd like to ask, is there someone in your life that has said something to you that you still think about today, that kind of influences what you do?
Wow, beautiful question, Bjark. You put me in the spot now. I've been very, very lucky with people around me. Like, you have no idea, people who cross my path, good friends, they still my friends, and they still part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's something that I heard when I was 19 years old. I moved from Brazil to Portugal,
Right.
and before moving to England, and I remember there, I was like 3 weeks there, and I was 19. My goodness, I didn't have much support, let's say, like mentally support for me to be there alone on my own, away from my family. And I remember that one of my colleagues at the time, he was married, he had kids, and once he came up to me and he realized that I was a bit sad because I was away from my family. I was feeling lonely. I didn't say anything, but he, as an adult, he realized that, and he came up to me and he said, "William, Brazil is gonna be there always for you. It's never gonna run away. So if you give you a chance, because if something goes wrong, if you see that like in a few weeks time or in a month's time that it is not the place for you, Brazil always going to be there. You always can come back to Brazil. So give a try, give a chance to yourself. Don't, I know you are alone here. You don't know many people, and you're just starting a new journey in your life. So give a go, give a try. Don't give up, because if it goes wrong, Brazil is going to be there for you. Your family is going to be there for you. So it's not the point for you to be worried about that.
Yeah, exactly.
And when I look back, I was like, oh my God, you have no idea. That for me was something that I needed to hear it. I need to listen to that, because it gave a big impact in my life. And nowadays, when I look back, I was like, wow, if I didn't hear that at the right time, I think maybe I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
So it's something that when I think about something that was very simple, was just a 5 minutes conversation, but it gave a big impact in my life. And I always remember, when I look back, even when people come to London or to Europe, and they go like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to stay. I said, just give a chance. You don't know. Brazil is going to be there always for you. And I always use the same, not just Brazil, but any country. I always use that little conversation that I had, because you never know. Sometimes you need to hear those little comments, and it helps a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my answer to you. I love that.
Very good. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the interview?
Yes, yeah, it was really, really good.
Thank you so much for taking the time, for sharing your experience as well about composing. I can see how much you love it, how much you enjoy it. And I think that's life, what's about, for you to live your passion, live your joys in life.
Yeah.
But before you go, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
Something I heard at like a leadership conference was dream big, achieve more. And I think about it probably every week, and I just remind myself of that. So that's something that I live by or live with every day almost. So yeah.
Good one. Wow, very good.
Right.
Bjarki, thanks so much for the interview, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoy the weekend.
Yes,
Take care.
All right, see you.
Bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. and I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.